Welcome to How-To Videos from Bugspray.com. Today I'm going to do an unboxing and a assembly of a Solo 451 backpack mist blower. This particular box is, I actually have pulled the staples out. I wanted to double check and make sure that it was still in good condition, but these boxes are designed to take a pretty good beating during shipping. Although when we ship them out, we do put them in a second box on the outside so that when you get it, the box has good integrity. So I chose the one that came in beat up. It looked like it got hit by a forklift or something. So that's the one I'm going to be using for this video, and hopefully you can follow along and see all the components that should come with yours and how to put them together. We're going to go through that over the next about 10 minutes. Okay, let's open it up. We've got a bag here, got several accessories, and we're going to set these to the side for a second. It's got a extender here. Okay, so far when I've looked through this, I've got a quality certificate. It says who it was checked by. You got the manual that has the directions in a variety of languages on how to put it together. Some other kind of certificate. Alright, and then the parts, you've got the extension tube. The air is going to blow through that. This is a kind of a little flex tube that attaches to the elbow. So the elbow comes out of this, then this piece goes here so you can move this tube directionally. And then you get a bag, it's a sealed bag, and it's got several components, and we're going to break that down next so we can look at all the parts that come in there. Okay, we've opened up the bag, and we get a clamp with that. Also there's another clamp here. This particular clamp is going to hold the tube in place. Have a few deflectors. This one's called the wide range deflector. I don't know if you can see that, but it's going to send the product in every direction. This is the adapter that goes with that particular nozzle. There's a dual nozzle. This one's going to put the product out in two directions, so it's that direction in that direction. And let's say you're going down a row of tomatoes or rows of trees and you want to fog in both directions, so it's going to give you two directions, deflect the actual mist in two directions. And then there's one last one, it comes on it. This is just called a deflector, and this one is best used for getting the underside of leaves. So when you have a situation like that, you use that particular deflector. The other part that comes with it is the metering device. This is how you adjust the flow of chemical that is being put out, and then the tube is going to be attached to the tank. It came with the tool that you're going to use to put the system together. There's a screw and a cap that goes on something. I believe it goes on this clamp here once it's screwed together. And this little screw is going to stick out past the nut. And that's all the components that came in that separate bag. And now we're going to start the assembly. Okay, the first step is to take your tool and you're going to loosen these two screws on the back of the blower housing. And that's basically, if you're looking at the back side of the fogger, the blower housing opening is going to be on the right hand side, and you have to loosen these up completely before you put the elbow in. You might actually have to loosen up a couple of these. It's been a while since I've done one of these. But this has to kind of come apart so this slips in. Okay, so this is the elbow. This is the first thing to go in. And just... Oh, you have to take the screws out. I think they slip into this groove. Okay, so once they're out, go ahead and put the screws back in. And once it's all tight, this elbow should still continue to swivel. Okay, the next thing, you want to make sure that the elbow swivels, and you're going to attach next the flex tube to the elbow. To do that, you're going to take this clamp, and you want to make sure that the place that the cable goes through, this is going to retain the cable, and the flex tube is going to come through here. So you want to make sure that that's going on the inside towards the person that's going to be holding it. Okay, and then just slip it in place, and this screw goes in here, and it actually just screws into the bottom of this clamp. Okay, the next step is to put the handle on this tube. You're going to have to take these screws out to do that. It seems like it would slide on, but it doesn't. So it's got an actual T-shaped groove that allows this to slide back and forth on it once it's on. Okay, so that's going to go, the little groove is going to be on the bottom. Once it's on, this will slide back and forth. You know, just I guess to adjust for your arm length. Some people are short like me and other people are tall, so you want to make sure it's adjustable. And then just enter your, screw it back together. Okay, and once these screws are in place and nice and snug, but you want them not too snug that it won't still slide back and forth. So that should be good. You're going to take this and put it on here, and again loosen it up so you can get it over. Slide this in and tighten it up. Okay, I'm tightening up this clamp right here. As you can see, when you tighten up this clamp, it's got quite a bit of thread left over, so you want to slide this on. Also, I make sure that I put the clamp on so the screw's to the outside. It's personal preference, but I just as soon not have that thing getting caught up on me when I'm putting it on and off. So just for your own safety, it's probably best to have that screw pointing to the outside. It's not likely you're going to get caught on this smooth screw. Okay, go ahead and finish tightening this up, and we'll go to the next step. Okay, next you want to attach the delivery tube, and I attach it so that the adjustment's on the top. You're going to have to loosen up the screw a little bit. This is definitely a tight fit. Okay, now you're going to want to attach the delivery tube to the handle. Okay, just so you know, there's two adjustments. This one is basically on-off, and it's got variable adjustments as far as the speed of the flow. Also down here at the end where the nozzle was, there's also a adjuster. And I recommend when you first use it, definitely fill it up with some water and play with it, because you'd rather practice with water than with your first container of product. Okay, and then there's another section of delivery tube that's going to go on the other side of this valve. And there's no clamps for this. It does fit pretty tight. And there's really no tugging or pulling on this ever, so it's fine to just have it press fit in there. Alright, and then you're going to run this tube. I just run it through here. It's not too tight. When you run it through, you just want to make sure that the tube doesn't get twisted. So, and then it's going to come up here, and again do the same thing to this. It's got a little nozzle here, and that's going to have a little bit of play in it, so that when you move this, it doesn't pinch. And then the last thing you want to do is take the cable and the throttle cable and stick it up underneath there. So now everything's in place and should be ready to go. Alright, we're down to the last step for assembly, and this part you have a couple of options. You have the deflector, the dual angle deflector, which would use this nozzle adapter. I use this one the most. It's a good for misting for mosquitoes, and it's got a small adapter, so you just want to click this on. This is a wide angle deflector, and then it's going to slip on to the end here, and that is the last step of assembly. Let's take a look at the entire Solo 451, totally ready to go. Okay, here's a view of the entire Solo 451. It is completely assembled, and add a little fuel and a little product, and you're ready to go out there and tackle mosquitoes or whatever pest is bothering you. Thank you for watching this how-to video from bugspray.com.